We are back on Reds franchise spring training in the 2024 season, and I made some moves to go ahead and fill out the roster. Not sure that I'm going to make any trade just yet, and I totally forgot about the Rule 5 rules that a player has to be in your system for a number of years before they're Rule 5 eligible. Oversight by me, doesn't end up mattering because a lot of the players that we actually have with the strength of our roster as a whole in our draft class are just good enough to be at least spring training invites right now. Like, is a guy like Alexi Vina going to make the MLB team right away? He's 18 years old. You'd think you'd want to put a guy like that in the minors for a while, but he's also a 75 overall and would be one of our better hitters right now. So it's bizarre. So he's going to be at least a spring training invite, and we'll just kind of see what happens. We have critical situations on a number of just like fill out the, I'll say, organization type moves were made. Now, do some of those guys end up pitching at the major league level? Maybe they do. Zach Greinke, Charlie Morton, Justin Dunn were all brought back or brought to Cincinnati, brought back in the case of Justin Dunn. For relief pitchers, Brian DePera got a contract, Matt Bush, Zach Britton. Those guys could end up just being AAA arms for us that could pitch at the major league level. I know they're MLB arms, but they're not that highly rated, and we'll see what happens. We have 40 people at the MLB level right now on the 40-man roster, of course, and it's spring training, so we're just going to see what we have. David Robertson got signed. Enrique Magana from our last draft class could be good enough to pitch close to the major league level right now. So we're just, again, going to see what we have and see how spring training goes. And we'll see if we get any fun moments to play. And we got to fix the 40, man. Okay, 48. So we might be sending down some of the younger guys and calling up some of those older players if it comes to it. Well, unfortunately, we haven't been getting any moments. I guess you don't get any in spring training, so that's a little bit unfortunate. So I paused the simulation, and I will go ahead and maybe do a player lock or two. Nick Lodolo on the mound. We have high hopes for him. He has not lived up to those expectations up to this point, which is a little bit unfortunate, of course. But I think we're going to go ahead and give him a shot, see what he can do today. You can see the lineup. The new Reds that are on the team: Hunter Renfroe, Jock Peterson. Elly De La Cruz has yet to make the major league team, but I think it could happen at some point this season. Need him to continue to develop. Max Kepler, we know we have. But we're going to player lock Nick Lodolo. He's got to be better. He's got to be our ace. We need him to pitch like an up-and-coming star. Elly De La Cruz, as you can see, is lighting up. Spring training so far, hitting .367. Could make the team. Not going to say he's not, but I'm not going to say it's going to either. We're going to see what happens. See what Lodolo can do, because he's got all the makings of an ace-type pitcher. We just haven't fully seen him put it together yet. And he's young. It's fine as a Whit Merrifield flair. Going to be tracked down by the second baseman. And there are a lot of new faces and new names to know for this Reds team. We're going to check out the Giants starting lineup, though, quickly. Whit Merrifield now in San Francisco. J.D. Davis. We have a couple of outfielders who have been there for a minute now. Tyro Estrada, former Yankee, in Florida as well. Will Wilson is not someone I know. Keston Hiura is a San Francisco Giant now. Has really been, I don't want to say mostly a quad A player, someone that's, lit up AAA but just can't quite hit the major league pitching. He's had some decent, stretches in the majors, but he's not good enough defensively to really have a consistent spot. So, even though he's lighting up the Brewers' AAA team right now, or for them, like, what are you going to do with him? He's not a guy that's shown he consistently, he can consistently hit at the major league level, and he can't play defense at all. So it's a tough spot. As Lodolo trying to work through Mitch here. That pitch is hammered deep to right center. Going back is Renfroe. He's not going to make the catch because it's over the wall. A 2-run home run. And that's the type of thing we're looking to avoid from Nick Lodolo. We're talking about him potentially becoming our ace. I don't think it's that poorly of a located pitch. Slurve kind of going in the back door there. But, Mitch stayed on it and hammered it to right center. And this pitch is hammered as well. Lodolo's got a cover. He's not going to get there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's spring training, but is this guy ever going to be an ace? I don't know. Ooh, good pitch there, though. Maybe you got to get that slurve more in. I can't use it as a get a strike pitch. It's just got to be a purely swing and miss pitch. But I don't think the fastball is quite good enough to get consistent swings and misses. And he hasn't really been able to locate it well either. So I'm not really sure what the strategy is going to be with Lodolo. He should be able to get out any lefty he faces. I mean, that should be a given. But I just don't think he locates well enough to be a consistent arm for us. And classic pitching is really inconsistent. That sinker was nasty, though. Got Conforto all tied up and got another strikeout. So a little bit of a bounce back there. You allow a home run to a power hitter who especially feasts on lefties. All right, whatever. Got to bounce back. And I think he did a decent job of that, as Syndergaard is on the mound for the San Francisco Giants. He's kind of moved all over in recent years. But, of course, with the player lock for Lodolo, he's going to continue to pitch with him. And nothing crazy. You know, I'm thinking maybe like 50 pitches, maybe 60. It's spring training. You know, we're trying to stretch these guys out a little bit in terms of their pitch count. But they're not going to go super deep into games. Just want to see what they have. You know, are they locating well? Are they getting swings and misses? Are they navigating the lineup well? And Lodolo against 7, 8, 9 in the order. We got to see him mow through some of these batters. Will Wilson goes down. Kind of like a sword check swing. Good pitch from Lodolo just to bury it. But then a changeup hangs way up in the zone. Luckily, Hero was late on it. If he's late on the fastball as well. It's not close. It's just tough to locate with Lodolo. That's a good pitch. That's right where you want that sinker. Even if he gets a piece of it, you know, beat it down into the ground. Pretty awesome spot. Let's see you locate that changeup. It's not a bad spot for it. Here it just lays off. We're going to go right off the plate here with the slurve. Good spot. Hero puts it into play and gets a base hit. But we got the result we wanted. Keep the ball down. Get ground balls. And that one just happened to sneak through. Oh, that's a dot from Lodolo. Sinker in. Bart's been very patient. Chase that slurve. Oh, he hammered it. That ball was hit much harder than the Hero shot. Now we have runners on first and second. Another kind of tough inning for Lodolo here. That was 111 off the bat. I don't really hate that location. It was just hit well. And these first pitch changeups are not finding the zone. I think we're going to have to lean on this four-seamer a little bit more. Kind of one of these only pitches Lodolo's been able to put in a decent spot. He's been somewhat accurate with it. Not super consistently. But we get to 2 strikes, and then the off-speed has been fairly successful. He's just got to locate it a little bit better. That one's in. This could be a double play ball. There's one. Back onto first. Double play. Lodolo's out of it. He's struggling. He's laboring. But it's only 2 runs altogether. So, yeah, he's not exactly dominating, but it hasn't been so bad. And Mitch is back up to the plate here. 2-run home run earlier. First pitch swinging on the heater. Took a slurve right around here out. If he's sitting back on that, let's try to gas him up on the outside part of the plate, but he's ready to turn and burn. That one's to the left center field gap. Mitch is going to have another extra base hit here. And I don't know. Have I seen enough from Lodolo? Kind of getting to that point. Haven't really been impressed. He just doesn't seem to have ace potential. And I know it's a spring training start. You can't really take a ton from that. He's had some decent starts for us in Reds franchise up to this point. But the thing is, his ERA is consistently not in a good spot. I don't know. It's tough. I'm obviously not going to say he can't be good because of a spring training game. Infield single. But it's a number of things that are kind of, you know, adding together. Don't love it. You got to force that double play. Get the sinker down. You got to throw it for a strike, though. We're just below the zone. Get him to ground out. There it is. Ground ball, diving stop by the third baseman. Keeps it in the infield. No play at first. Oh my goodness, Lodolo cannot catch a break right now either. Yeah, obviously some hard contact in there, but that's a double play ball, and we just can't get the result. Gets a pop-up, though. Stevenson trying to make the play, reaching over. Cannot do it. Still trying to get that double play. Although now with 2 strikes to Conforto, we're looking at a potential strikeout. Going to go to that slurve, that sweeper. Conforto offered at it, and they're going to say he went. Could not hold up. Conforto walking back furious to the dugout. Lodolo is nasty, just not consistent. And if these guys aren't chasing off the plate, I don't know how good he's going to be. That's the problem. Wilson also saying was a first-round pick in 2019. So maybe a prospect I should know a little bit more about. Could be decent. Great pitch. Oh, strike 3, up and away, paint from Lodolo. And we're going to end on a high note for him. That's going to be his last pitch of the game. He wasn't particularly great, but, you know, they can't all be winners. It would also be nice if this lineup could get something going. Just 2 hits in spring training after 4 innings here. Finally getting on the board. And there's another. It is just a 1-run game after a 2-run 5th for us. Not going to strike out. Big double. Can't get any runs in. Alexis Diaz into the game. And that will do it. Giants over the Reds 4-2. It's just spring training. Doesn't really matter a whole lot. Lodolo, not super impressive. Gets the loss. Allows 8 hits. Strikes out 5 in 3 innings. 3 earned runs. Just tagged. No walks, of course, which is nice. But we were really trying to throw in the strike zone. And anytime we did, he got tagged. 8 hits in 3 innings is not a good rate at all. He's got to be better. Player lock for this game is going to be Elly De La Cruz, our #1 prospect. He did play a little bit last year at the very end. The CPU called him up. He went 2 for 9 with a double, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, 2 stolen bases. Nothing particularly great. 2 is all over the place, by the way. 2 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, 2 stolen bases, hitting .222. So many 2s. Although he'll be leading off for us today ahead of Yandy Diaz. And we'll see if he's a player that can end up making this team out of spring training. That's going to be one of these big spring training storylines. Obviously, you know, it's awesome to see the new Reds in there, Renfroe, Peterson, etc. But the prospects are going to be the future of our franchise. And if they don't develop, we're going to be in a really tough spot. And you look at the minor league system for the Reds. Matt McClain, who's up at the major league level in real life now, just got called up. Elly De La Cruz. Christian Encarnacion Strand. A litany of others. Andrew Abbott, who I think we traded away at the start of this. It was tough to know how dominant he was going to be this year. But, you know, you look at the hitters I mentioned. If those guys don't develop, we still have a lineup with a lot of holes. And, you know, Alexi Vina, who we, of course, drafted in the first round last year. We're hoping that he can be a big, middle-of-the-order power bat. But got a long way to go. He's just 18 years old. And Elly does have a strikeout problem. That's really his big thing. Doesn't really walk a whole ton in real life. Funnily enough, the count is 3-0 here against the veteran Yu Darvish. Who gets a cutter in there. Backdoor cutter. For strike 1. We were taken all the way there. If Elly De La Cruz can improve his discipline, take more walks, he's going to be an incredible player. He strikes out just a little bit too much, but has fantastic speed. He's an incredible athlete. Unbelievable power. Count goes 0-2 here. We're going to steal. Diaz taking all the way. Elly De La Cruz is in there for the stolen bag. That's part of what he brings to a lineup. You know, he's 6'5". You wouldn't expect somebody like that to have incredible speed the way Elly De La Cruz does. You know, most often these bigger guys don't particularly run very well. But not Elly. Incredible speed, as Diaz will strike out. At least consider swiping third with Elly. But we don't really want to take the bat out of Tyler Stevenson's hands or take a runner out of scoring position for him. Such a professional hitter, and he drives this one deep to right. Tatis is there. First look at the new Red, Hunter Renfroe. More like Hunter Redfro, am I right? This one smacked to right field. It's going to get down. Hunter Renfroe with at least an RBI. He's stretching for 2 and we'll get there. It's an RBI double for Hunter Renfroe, driving an Elly De La Cruz, and we could see that a whole lot over the next few years here in Cincinnati. Elly extra base hit to Hunter Renfroe, or Jock Peterson extra base hit. That's why we paid him all that much money. Bring him to Cincinnati. Let him feast in the hitter-crazy Great American Ballpark as Elly De La Cruz will come back to the plate. Is the lone run scored for the Reds in this game. We're down 4-1 here at the top of the third. Elly De La Cruz 0 for 3 with a strikeout in his last game. Still looking for that big hit. And he will pop this up behind home plate. Easy grab for Nola. And Elly De La Cruz, first swing of this game, retires him. Ooh, tough pitch. We'll take that. Really trying to develop the discipline of Elly De La Cruz. So we're not going to be swinging at garbage, but it's a circle change kind of hanging up in the zone. Elly hits it right at the first baseman and is set down once again. And they pinch hit for him. Okay. But this is another guy we want to look at. Only hitting 133. It's the 18-year-old Alexi Vina. On base, just 187. And he's got a tough matchup against the veteran Robert Suarez, one of the best relievers for the San Diego Padres. Vina, it's going to be tough for him to make the team. We just wanted to see what he could do. And the answer seems to be, well, not a whole lot. He's 18 years old, playing against major league talent. Yes, he is a high overall, for sure. I totally understand that. But it's just, he was probably never going to end up making this team. As Gavin Williams is getting a lot of relief appearances for us. Probably not going to have him be a long reliever for us. I'm not sure if he's even going to make the team as well at a spring training. I kind of personally view him as our AAA ace. Develop him a little bit. And then call him up as our 5 starter when he's ready. But it's nice to see what he's got. So far, seems a little bit easier to control than Nick Lodolo. Although maybe getting hit just as hard. Runner on first here. Full count to Zavala. Williams freezes him. Curveball down the middle. Zavala clearly looking for something else. Sat down. That is not a great pitch. Go ahead and look at the sequence here. You know, dancing all around the zone. A couple really well-located pitches, but that was not one of them. Thankfully, sat him down regardless, as is this Jorge Alfaro? It is. Hitter with some tremendous power. Renfroe going over. He'll range over and make the catch. 2 away. Oh my goodness. Gavin Williams changeup up and above the zone. Gets the call. The Lucas Giolito special. What a pitch. And I think we'll see an at-bat here from Hunter Renfroe. And then simulate to the end of the game. A lot of substitutions being made. Of course, we still have a lot of our starters in. Here's Yandy Diaz, who will probably be our leadoff hitter. Could still be Jonathan India. Might end up going in a different direction. It's tough to say. We're experimenting with a bunch of different things here in spring training. Yandy Diaz, we know, is an on-base machine. He's got a little bit of pop as well. But we'll fly out to the right fielder, Trent Grisham. Ground ball from Stevenson. Got a fastball down the middle. Couldn't do a whole lot with it. And we'll see Hunter Renfroe. Doubled earlier in the game. Also has a single we didn't see. How about a triple? How about late cycle push? Little comeback in spring training. And his numbers are shockingly bad against lefties compared to righties. Historically, he's kind of been the opposite. And that ball is crushed. Deep to left field. It's got a chance! And it is out of here. A little bit of a stall there. Couldn't tell if the left fielder came down with that. But that's what we want. The Big Red Machine. Hunter Renfroe. Potential new nickname, not just for the team, but for Renfroe. Hunter Redfro goes yard. I'm going to work that one in more. Redfro. It just sounds like I'm nasally, which maybe I am. But Hunter Redfro. Home run. Just a triple away from the cycle here in the 8th inning of this spring training game. We'll see an at-bat from the new Red, Jock Peterson, as a result. Swing and a foul tip. Jock staying alive here. Foul ball still makes the count 2-2. Kind of surprised to see Suarez still in the game here. You know, he's a reliever that has gone, only 13 pitches. I thought it was more like 23. Ends up walking Jock Peterson, though, and we stay alive in the inning. A little bit of a comeback mounting. And here is another one of our newer draft picks. It's Micah Vento. Probably will end up being a second baseman for us with his athletic ability, maybe a DH. You know, has decent speed, but his fielding is atrocious. Not really much of a power hitter either, so probably doesn't profile well as a DH. I don't know what Micah Vento's role will be. He's going to need a lot of development. He's got a good contact tool, good hit tool, but power, defense, arm, totally not there. Not even at all. 2-2 to Vento, fighting back. Pitch to hit, circle change, middle in. Just fouled off. Full count now to Vento. Do something. And he draws a walk. Tying run at the plate in the form of Jonathan India. And they're going to bring up Luis Garcia. Base hit up the middle. India's going to drive in one. Pushing for third is Vento. Throw comes all the way in. Eventually cut off. And it's now only 6-4 Padres. Jonathan India putting runners on the corners now with 2 outs for the power hitting Max Kepler. Does particularly well against right-handed pitching. This is a good matchup for us. And that's strike 1. And that's strike 3. Kepler looking. Sinker middle in. Caught the black and sat him down. And our pitching couldn't get it done anyway. It's 8-4 now. Could get even worse. Our hitting, we know, is not going to fight at all. McLean grounds out. And we go down here. Another spring training loss. We saw some encouraging things for sure. But we have made it to the regular season. And as you could expect, we are going to be making some roster moves here. Alexi Vina is going to start his career in the minors at Double-A. Joey Votto was brought back. Nice veteran presence, and he has power against righties. Ellie De La Cruz will be making the Major League team. Welcome officially to the Bigs, Ellie De La Cruz. Did get some time last year, very small sample. He's going to make the team out of spring training. He earned it, and he could be a starter for us very, very, very soon. A prospect, George Valera, who we got in a trade, will stay at AAA. I know he's at the Major League level in real life. Matt McLean, I am going to hold down at AAA for a little while. Just want to develop him a little bit more as a hitter. Everything else is there, just he's close. Same thing with Noelvi Marte. They're close, just not quite there. Next game will be opening day against the Cardinals. Hunter Green takes on Braxton Garrett. Okay, that'll be an interesting one. 0-0. It is a fresh start for the Cincinnati Reds. Newest additions, Hunter Renfroe. Of course, Jock Peterson. And some guys that we traded for in the past. Yandy Diaz, Max Kepler. It's a different team. And it's headlined by top prospect Ellie De La Cruz. I'll see you for Season 2. Next episode. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Take it easy.